Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we want to take a look at the Unova Tour, and today we're also going to rank all of the encounters that you can get for this event. And so here we're going to see first, of course, an overview from Galax as always about the event, so we know exactly what we're going to see here, what we're going to have to do basically, and when it's going to be on as well, of course, here, which is going to be this weekend, 1st of March and 2nd of March from 10 AM to 6 PM, so an 8-hour window here. And we're going to have quite some interesting things coming up. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's move in right into this video. And again, we're going to rank all of the Pokemon that we can get during this event that we know so far, at least as well. Yeah, in here as well. We're going to see already. We're going to have here the March as the time of the event. We're going to have here also, which you cannot see because my face cam is above that. And we're going to have here, generally speaking, the global event that it's free. Basically, most of the things that you're going to see here is going to be free. You don't have to pay for anything. There are things that you can pay for, which I did as well already, which you don't have to do. And there's going to be no remote raid limit during the 1st and 2nd of March. So that's something for you as well if you want to raid. And we see already immediately what raids we're going to have here. We're going to have the Reshiram, we're going to have the Zekrom, and we're going to have also the Kyurem White and Kyurem Black, which are turning to a normal Kyurem as soon as you're going to be able to beat them, and you're going to get the energy to then fuse them later on with, yeah, the Zekrom or the Reshiram, which is going to be interesting here for sure. This is going to be the main raids that you want to do, 5-star raids, all of them. And we're going to have a 1.5 hedge distance, we're going to have 1.5 starters for, yeah, trades basically, and 6 special trades during the event. We have 4 new shiny Pokemon where we're going to have, also I think we have like 4 different stages there yet, that makes a lot of sense. And we're going to have here, yeah, the 4 new Pokemon here. 3 of them are going to be the regional forms of them. I forgot the name of at least the first one. We have Buffalon, we have Maractus, we have the Sigalith. But I forgot the Deerling as the first Pokemon, of course. So, 4 new shinies here. We're going to have Unknown, which is going to be interesting as well. Then we're going to have a 3-star raid, only Dridagon. So as soon as you see a 3-star raid, which I don't think you're actually ever going to see, because it's always going to be basically the Pokemon immediately. I don't think that eggs are existing currently. It's going to be this Pokemon. We're going to have a 1-star raid, only Pikachus, which is interesting. And then we're going to go for the X, and 10 km X have apparently the special Pokemon, but then again you see a little bit further down that 10 km X also have like other regional Pokemon. So I don't know why there are 2 times 10 km X. I don't know if this is like a mistake and one should be 7. I'm not too sure about it. But yeah, yeah, we can see here the regional Pokemon in 10 km X apparently. I feel like this could be like 7 or something, and maybe Niantic just messed up, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to see here already, this is going to be on when we have these events. We're going to have the winter, we're going to have the spring, we have the summer, and we're going to have the autumn event. For everyone at 10 AM, it's going to be the winter, and then just going to go through the seasons, which allows you to get the 4 different dealing types throughout the event, which makes a lot of sense. Of course, Pokemon focused based on the kind of time of the year you're going to have here. For example, you have Ice-type Pokemon like Cryogonal in the winter one. You have some more String-type Pokemon like Bugs and whatever in the spring event. You have for summer, of course, the Fire-type Pokemon, for example. And then we're going to have for autumn basically some Water-type Pokemon, which is also kind of interesting. So yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting one there. I feel like all of the hours are kind of, yeah, kind of similar in terms of what they can offer. Like they're all kind of not crazy, like nothing where you say like, oh, you have to play in this hour and otherwise you're going to really regret it. You don't really see that at all, but what you also see is there's always a plus more. You don't know actually all of these spawns yet, which might be actually very impactful. Maybe there's going to be also additional spawns as well. And what I also would like to see is maybe we're gonna see some legendary Pokemon in the wild. We had the last time, like Latias and Latios for the Horn one. We had the Uxie, Mesprit and whatever for the one before. I could see that we maybe get the flying trio basically there with the Thunderous and Landorus and stuff like this as a wild encounters. That would be kind of cool. Mostly not in the Tiergeist form, but like in the incarnate form. So it's going to be something as well, which going to be interesting. I would hope that we're gonna get them. We don't know yet. This was, I think, the last time around also not announced before that, so we don't know yet exactly. But it's going to be the spots that we're going to have. They're all kind of similar. Again, I cannot really see an hour where you really want to play, other than, for me at least, like the spring one, because I get the Ordino, which we're gonna talk about as well. Gives you a ton of Stardust. There's some other Pokemon that do the same as well. But yeah, here we're going to see the quest, which are going to be just the Deerling, just Pikachu, and just the fish, which is interesting. We have routes, where you're just going to get the fish as well, which doesn't really help you at all. Like this Pokemon, maybe unless you have like not the shiny Pokemon from this one yet, which I don't have yet. This is going to be only there for the shiny. And then we're going to have some easier to get regional Pokemon in the party play quest, which is kind of interesting as well. And optional paid options here, this is basically what you can get there as well, is for a total of $30 US, the Tour Pass Deluxe, the Master Research, the Hatch bonus, and the Raid bonus. Yeah, you can get this. You can get the Hatch and Raid bonus currently already, which can help you out a bit. But yeah, this is going to be it for the event, but let's take a look at the ranking. So we're going to rank here. We're going to have the S tier, which are Pokemon that you really want to have. The A tier, which are Pokemon that have a little bit of play, especially like in limited metas, or like for a little bit of raids as well. And then you're going to have a USP, which have like a unique selling point basically here. Those going to be Pokemon that are, yeah, just going to have a certain thing about it, which is going to help it out. For example, a new shiny form. We have maybe good for with a new update, which is going to be some of the Pokemon as well. And then you're going to have bad, where it's just like the Pokemon itself is just garbage. So like, you really don't want that. Anyway, we're going to first start with Alomomola. This Pokemon is going to be for me for sure an A tier Pokemon because it is very solid in certain metas. It also could be good with a different update, but for example in the recent Love Cup, this Pokemon is always one of the strongest Pokemon here. Archon might actually be cool for a different update later on. Currently it's more closer towards a bad, but like it's generally speaking not the best Pokemon. We have the Audino, which has the most amount of starters that you can get, I think, from a single catch, which gives it the unique selling point there of being actually a very solid Pokemon. Like this Pokemon you kind of want to hunt for, but not for the Pokemon itself, but for the unique selling point. I guess we can give it to this fish here as well to be unique, because I don't know, like it's a very difficult way to get this Pokemon if you don't have the shiny yet, because like you have to go through quests or through the thing like routes as well, so it's a bit more difficult to get that. I just gotta put it in here. I feel like it could be also just down bad, but like it depends on what you really want to do there. We're going to have next up the Axew. Axew sadly is, I'm gonna put it into A tier because it's okay for like raids and whatever, but like it's actually really not a good Pokemon. Would lead a better update there. With Counter was really cool. Counter got nerfed, so it's not even great for PvP anymore, which makes it a bit more difficult to play it. Blitzle is actually one of the Pokemon that can be easily turned into a meta monster if you just give it a better fast move, so maybe good with a new update, for sure for this Pokemon. Same goes for Buffalont. It was actually okay before, then it got a little bit of a nerf, but like if this Pokemon gets a bit of an update as well, would be kind of a cool Pokemon to have, and it's also a regional Pokemon, so you couldn't even put it into USP because it's a new shiny Pokemon, which maybe puts it even in a better tier there. We have the next Pokemon here. This one, especially the Whimsicott, is an A tier, has some play in a lot of metas, would also have some play most likely if it gets a bit of an update again. I would like to see a little bit of a charge move update that maybe Seed Bomb gets a bit better again. Next up, we're going to have Cryogonal. Just bad. I already see the point. We even had a research day, I think, for this Pokemon, so like there's no real point for it. So we go for the next ice type. Their ice types are just kind of bad currently. Diamantine is cool for raids, so I'm just going to put it into the A tier. We have, again, a new unique selling point for the Deerling. We have, so far no S tier, we're going to have the Dano. I put it into A tier. Hydreigon has some potential in certain metas, like for example the current Master Premier Cup, which is currently around, but otherwise not really. Druddigon, I don't really think it's cool. Like I don't think it has any potential with the typing just being a pure dragon. It has a little bit of play in like the Love Cup as well recently, but like it wasn't great either, so I would put it to bad. I don't think it's a good Pokemon. I don't think you need it. Ducklet needs another update again, like especially the evolution needs a different update, needs a better fast move to be good, but has some potential then if it actually gets the upgrade. We have the next regional Pokemon, which kind of has the unique selling point because it's regional, which is like the kind of sad thing about this one, like otherwise this just doesn't really do anything here. We have the next one, Webble, needs an update to be good. Could get something like the Rock Wrecker, for example, so the only Pokemon other than Rhyperior that learns Rock Wrecker. Needs a better fast move anyway though, so like, I guess Rock Wrecker Fuel Cutter could be kind of cool, but we can move on to the next one, Elgium. It needs a better fast move. There was a meta where it was good before. I'm just gonna put it into the second to last tier. Emolga, actually cool Pokemon. I would put it into A tier. Has actually some potential as an anti-meta threat. We have Ferrothorn. It's also just A tier. It's not S tier for me. A tier for sure for PvP. Solid, but like not overpowered. We have another unique selling point with the Amoonguss. Having extra starters as well in this Pokemon is kind of good. Frillish needs an upgrade. Currently, nobody is running this Pokemon or the evolution of it, so I would put it into actually needs an update. Golurk, or I should have had the pre-evolution in here, is actually kind of cool, but then again, you need the Shadow Pokemon to be good in PvP, so I just gonna put it into, actually gonna put it into the bad tier. You need the Shadow Pokemon, and you're not gonna get the Shadow Pokemon through the spawn, so while the Pokemon itself, maybe it's kind of cool, you're only really gonna play this as a Shadow Pokemon because otherwise it just doesn't have the damage output that you really need for this thing. Gothitelle, I should have also went for the pre-evolution here, needs an upgrade to be good, has some potential then, but needs something like Psywave to be solid. We have another Pokemon that's regional, which is going to be able to go into the USP tier. We have the Galvantula, which is maximum A tier, like there's just Charjabug, which is a better Pokemon of it. We have the recent community Pokemon, sadly currently just bad. I guess with an upgrade it would be better, like if it has a better fast move, it would be actually a solid Pokemon to run. Clang is going to be a Pokemon that is actually something that's just a few move updates away, like one move update away to be actually being really good, especially as it has some signature moves. It might be really cool to keep like some with good IVs for the potential community day, which is very likely going to come. Next up, we're going to have some of the legendary Pokemon. Kyurem is an A tier pick, but you needed to get the S tier picks here, which are the first ones here, Kyurem Black, Kyurem White. The best Pokemon that you can kind of get there, for sure. Yeah, for sure something worth rating. Larvesta, going to be for me a Pokemon that is kind of good maybe with an update. Fiery Dance would be really cool for this Pokemon, which is a signature move, giving it a plus attack stat basically boost every second time basically you use the move. It's a 50% chance to get an attack buff with it, but currently not in Pokemon Go anyway. We're going to have the Lillipup, never had some play. Actually has some cool moves on the evolution of it, but like never really got it anywhere. Needs like some kind of really cheap stab move or something to be solid. Litwick kind of can go into the category of Darmanitan, like A tier maybe for raids and stuff like this. Maractus, unique selling point. It is going to be there. We're going to have the Meloetta. It's a cool Pokemon, but you have to pay for it. $5 here for this boy. Like if you want to have this one for the Master League, it's a cool Pokemon, but also low S tier here. We're going to have the Mienfoo, which has a bit of play, but like the stats just put onto, which is bad. We have Mienshao, which is just bad. We have Mona, which needs an update for the fast move to be good. If it hasn't a fast move update like Psywave, this Pokemon actually going to be really, really good, but currently is absolutely garbage. We have the Oshawott, which I'm going to put into A tier, has sometimes some potential in some matters as the evolution. We have the Monkey Boys, they are all going to be bad. Like none of them is going to be good right now. We have Petrat, going to be awesome bad. We have Pawniard, which is going to be the first spawn here that you're going to put into S tier. Again, for not all of them, we actually know that they're actually going to spawn, but I would assume that they will. We are going to have here Petalil, currently really bad. I don't see a point out of that as well. Same goes for the next boy. That's the normal flying type Pokemon of this generation. We have Pikachu, which is going to be just unique selling point because of the costume. We're going to have the, forgot the name of it, Purloin I think it is. Bad. We have Reshiram, which is going to be A tier together with Kyurem there. We can put Zekrom there as well. They're all kind of there. They're not great, but like they're great together basically. They're great as the Kyurem and Kyurem White. We're going to have another community day Pokemon, which is sadly just bad. We're going to have Rufflet, which could be cool with an update, I guess, but like it's currently not really good. We have Sandile, which actually has a bit of a potential, and if you get it in the wild, which we don't know yet, this Pokemon would be really good to get like basically below the 1500 CP for the last evolution, which is very difficult to get because a lot, like so far, basically they only like 1 or 2 quest lines where you got them at like the 15, never in the wild so far. And if you get this in the wild, good IVs on this Pokemon actually be worth it, so I'm going to put it quite high up into the A tier. Again, unique selling point for the regional Pokemon here. I can just put all the regional Pokemon in there. They're all not really great. Throw here, by the way, has a bit of potential later on if it would get a better fast move. It has currently Zen Headbutt, which is garbage. We have the Pokemon that can nerf with counter as well here. The Scrafty, which I can put into the move, like basically if it gets a move update, it's going to be solid. We're going to have a A tier pick here with the little Buggy, which has recently Community Day giving a Shadow Claw, which made it really solid, with Exeter as well as the Leaf Blade. This Pokemon is actually really good. We're going to have here another Community Day Pokemon from recently. It's not great. Snivy is an S tier pick if you don't have this Pokemon yet. It's definitely very good to get. We have the Stunfisk, which is an S tier pick, so at least we have a few of them here. Slowsis needs some, actually not even with a move update, it's going to be good, so it's going to be always bad. Tepic, I don't see the way out of it. This Pokemon is always going to be bad as well. We're going to have here the Conkeldurr, which at least is okay for raids, was also okay recently when I played in the Master League. We have a fossil, which I don't see ever going to be good. We're going to have Pokemon again here with the little bin bag here, which is going to have some extra Stardust, which is kind of okay. We have a Pokemon that definitely could be good if it gets an update, which is going to be the Water and Ground type of the generation. Timpo, I think it's called. We're going to have here also the last, like another community Pokemon. We have quite a lot of community Pokemon from recently. With the Tynamo. Tynamo is kind of sadly bad. Even with a move update, I don't think this Pokemon is going to be overpowered. We have Unknown, which is just, again, unique selling point because you have Unova as Unknowns, spawning from Incense, which is interesting. Actually, I'm going to put the little Ice Comb here as an A-tier Pokemon. It is actually kind of cool since the Astonish buff, the mid-stage evolution, actually has some play because you have Astonish plus Icy Wind. We have another bug here, which I forgot the name of it as well again. And yeah, actually Scolipede, I think, is the last name of the evolution, but this Pokemon is very likely gonna get a community day very soon because it is like one of the Pokemon that has still 3 stages, has a signature move that it could learn, and just makes a lot of sense. Victini, you have to pay $15 for this one, and honestly, it is currently just bad. I don't see a play for really Victini, or like maybe with a move update it would be okay. It needs a better fast move and a better charge move. We have Vullaby, which is, I guess, an S-tier Pokemon to get, especially for the Go Battle League if you still don't have that one. We have, this Pokemon here, the bat, I don't fucking know, like it has Confusion, it has Psychic Fangs, it has Fly, which is okay. If it has a better fast move, actually would be okay, really good, but right now it's just bad. Then we're going to have Zora, which is bad, and then we're going to have the last one, which is, forgot the name, Covagrigus, basically pre-evolution, which is an A-tier. And with this, you're going to see here, I'm going to scroll it out a little bit so you can see the entire thing. Okay, not really. You're going to see basically, with my face game, I'm just going to hide that real quick. This is my tier list. This is my tier list for the Unova Tour. This is going to be it for this video as well. This gives you an overview on what you want to hunt and what not. And generally speaking, I feel like Generation 5 Pokemon are really underwhelming. I really think they could get some solid upgrades here. I think there are a lot of upgrades that would help them. But very likely we're going to get the new season update tomorrow, and maybe things going to change on this list already. You're going to see most likely a video towards it as well. I would assume we're going to get the new season update tomorrow because tomorrow is Pokemon Day. And so stay tuned for the content on the channel. This is going to be it for today, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.